Hey there, how's it going? davidinark here. Today we are on a map called Street Scene UK, and I'll have a link to it down in the description below, and it is very, very cool. It is exactly what it says it is. It is a street scene meant to resemble like old school UK somewhere in some little village somewhere off in the distance. Its primary function is not as a fully functional drive around map. Yes, we're driving around right here, but you can see it ends, right? It comes to a dead end at a T, and if you look off to either of the sides, there is no map there. There's nothing there. And the reason for this is because this map primarily serves as a set piece type map. This is the idea behind this map is that you place your vehicle and or vehicles on the map in various places and then use the photo tool to take pictures of your car or the vehicles and or the scenes. I mean, whatever it is that you want to set up. So it's very, very cool. And by the way, the light posts are pretty freaking solid. Alright, so one of the things that I want to do in here while we're taking a look is let's jump into the environment, and as you can see, like whatever time it is, I don't really care. Let's check out sunrise. Look at that. That is so cool. Now, I've done a split screen here, and I'll explain why, because this is a still. On the left-hand side is the default BeamNG settings in terms of lighting and clouds and whatever else you want to call the different lighting settings is really what it amounts to. On the right, I used Sourdisk's video to enhance the environment. So I'll talk about how you do that in a little bit. Right now, I am back to the regular BeamNG or default BeamNG settings. You can see that is noon. And if we come in here, we have afternoon, which, to me, that's pretty washed out to me. I mean, regardless, it's still washed out. That's just the way it is. So if we jump in here and we go to sunset, I like sunset. Honestly, I think I like sunrise more, but sunset's not bad. It's not too shabby. And, of course, we got a little bit of lens flare action going there as we move around, checking things out on the game here. And then finally we have night mode, and oh, that is slick. Okay, I am digging night mode. That is very, very cool. And again, this is to set up screenshots for all intents and purposes, or create environments where you're kind of creating your own like dioramas or what have you. So if we go back here again, here's afternoon. That's, I don't know, I mean it's okay, but what we're going to do is jump into the world editor by pressing F11, and then over on the left hand side in the scene tree we're going to search for sun sky. When you find sun sky, you're going to come over to the right hand side, and we are going to look for, well, I'm looking for brightness. I'm not seeing it. Okay, well, we're going to start with sky brightness, and we're going to change sky brightness to 100. And then if you come down to the Rayleigh scattering, make sure that it is set for 0.001, which in this case it already is, so that's cool. Then down below that you have what is called the ground albedo, and if you watch as I move this around, it changes kind of the color of the shadow. And normally the recommendation is to put it on all white, which, you know, it is fine for most maps, but to me, I think I kind of like the blue. Here's brightness down here. Okay, so you set the brightness to 5, and I'm going to go and set that back. The ground albedo, right there, kind of like in the middle of blue. To me, that's a nice shadow color. You see on the left-hand side of the screen where the shadows are. So that's kind of what I'm looking for. Now, once you've got those settings, you're going to go up over to the upper left-hand side and type cloud, and you're going to see there are a lot of different cloud settings for this particular map. So you just click on the first one, come back over to the right, and there are some settings that we need to look at. Let me look in textures real quick. I just want to see if any of the settings we need are in here. It doesn't look like this one has that. So you want to go to exposure, and in exposure you want to set exposure to 10. Now it's going to look funky while you're working on it. Just as is said in the other video, just trust the process, okay? So then with coverage, we're going to set coverage to 0.2, and then the height we're going to change to 10. All right, so that is one layer of clouds. So now, if you wanted to, you could just leave it this way, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do all of these clouds. So again, exposure is 10, coverage is going to be 0.2, and then height is going to be 10. And you can see what's happening to the cloud coverage, to the cloud coverage as I do this. And again, I'm just clicking on each one. So I click on one, I make the changes I need to change, and then I go to the next one. And again, as you are watching this process, it's going to look funky while you're doing it, but when you get to the end of the process, it looks so much better. Now, what I'm doing here is on a per map basis. So if you want to try this on other maps in BeamNG, then you'll have to go into that map, load the world editor, go into these particular settings, and make these changes. The main thing that if you want to save those is when you get done, you want to make sure that you hit the little save icon. And I'll be honest, as I'm working through this, and I'm recording my voice for this part after the fact, I don't think I saved. So I'm not sure what's going to happen when I go back into the game, if this map will retain these settings or if I'll have to redo them because I did not hit save. But just kind of a FYI, you want to make sure that you hit the save icon up there on the left hand side. So again, exposure 10, coverage 0.2, height 10, and I'm just setting all of these. And you don't have to. You can set whichever ones you want. You know, if you like the kind of multi-layered look that we sort of saw, and as a matter of fact, you can still sort of see that in the background there, but this just makes the game look so much better, and in my opinion. I mean, this is the noon time, and it does not look as washed out as the default BeamNG settings. So I'm going to go back over here and let's do sunrise with my new settings, and oh, that is gorgeous. Look at that. I love the sheen and the shine that it has given the car. I mean, look at the reflections of the buildings and the clouds and even the road on the vehicle. Oh, this is beautiful. This is absolutely gorgeous. I'm just going to drive down here. I'm just going to crash into the wall because why not? I'm just trying to look around. I just want to see what this looks like. Look at that in the reflections in the roof. Oh my gosh, that is so cool. I love this game. Have I mentioned? I love this game. All right, let's go back into environment and let's try sunset. Look at the big difference. I mean, my car went from that deep aggressive orange to I don't know, this is a weird orange color. It's almost yellow. It's really weird, all because of, you know, changing the sun and the lighting. I don't know, that's just very weird to me, but anyhow, that is what it is. Excuse me. All right, let's jump up in here again, and we will go to noon as we saw before. Again, not quite as washed out, but still, man, now that I look at this again, especially compared to, you know, oh, look at there. Especially compared to sunrise, but even, yeah, night. It's not as dark as it was before, but that almost looks like an oil painting to me. Not so much with the car in there, but in terms of the buildings and what have you. That is just so cool. And I love little maps that are purpose driven. So again, this map is designed to be a canvas, if you will, for you to set up your own dioramas, to make your own scenarios. Once again, you jump into photo mode once you got your car set up there, and then when you're in photo mode, and by the way, to get there I just hit escape on my keyboard and hit photo mode was at the top. But I can go in here and I can change the bloom, which that doesn't really seem to do anything on this map. So I don't know. But anyway, we can go in here and we can play around with some of the blur settings. Near blur, not really doing much. The far blur strength. Yeah, those don't seem to be doing much. Let's see what happens. Oh, okay. Oh, look at that. Changing that focal distance, though. Yeah. Oh, man, that is gorgeous. So, I'm just playing around. Forgive me as I play around with this, but you can, too. Go into your BeamNG, mess around with some of these settings. I need to play around with that some more. Ooh. Yeah, it's really weird. Like, it goes in focus and then out of focus just as you're sliding things around. But, yeah, that's a very nice. Yeah, so then you go. And then you can go down here, take a screenshot. You can do big, huge. I'll just do normal. Why not? We'll just... so when you do that, click. The key to doing this, though, is to make sure that whenever you do click the button to take a picture, don't touch anything. Don't move the mouse. Don't do anything, because otherwise it'll mess up. Look there. So we also have these different filters that you can go through. So if there's a particular filter that you like, these all seem to add a weird haze. Ooh, halogen's nice. Yeah, we'll take a picture of that one. Heck yeah. Yeah, these just have a weird, like, it's almost like it puts a film over top. Look at that. I mean, I know it says vintage, but that seems really weird to me. So let me change the intensity. There we go. That's a little better. I mean, I realize it's taking off some of that vintage effect to it, but still not a bad screenshot at all. Then we got Thriller. The evil of the Thriller. Anyway, Michael Jackson? No? Anyone? Okay. Warm hug. Oh, I kind of like that too. There we go. We'll ramp that up a little bit. Take us a picture. Ah, so cool. Anyway, once you're done, you just hit escape. That'll boot you out of photo mode, and now you are returned back to your normal game. So, because we are in the UK, let's go in here and let me grab... Where is he? There he is. Let's grab the Miramar. We'll do the Lux version in here. There we go. Look at that. Oh my gosh, this is so... That is actually kind of like Jack the Ripper scary. I'm not going to lie. Oh my gosh. Oop. I was trying to just... If you move the mouse down onto the ground, usually it'll pan a little closer without being weird. But that didn't happen. And then, again, if I jump into photo mode, I can set this up. Let's see, I want to move... I want to get in a little bit here. Let me... Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, that's a little too low. Oh, my gosh. Oh, look at that. I'll tell you what would be a great car for this particular scene right here, at least in my opinion, would be like a Christine type car. Oh, look at that. This map, again, its specific purpose is to be used so that you can set up your own set pieces. Actually, we're walking around. I just hit F. So we're walking around. Look at that. Look at that. Even just walking around here is very, very cool. Oh my gosh. This is very spooky. Oh, and then nothing. So, although I do understand the purpose of this map and understand its scope, it would be nice if the places in between were filled in just to give it a little bit more dimension, a little bit more depth. But I can totally see where, because that's not the purpose, that where that having those empty spaces is just part of the map. Of course, it saves on development, etc. But to me, it would be nice if at least kind of in between some of these places, it was filled in. Just because I think you could get some, there are some other set things you could do without it getting too weird by not having any of the buildings and roads, kind of in that no man's land. But other than that, I think this is great. I really do. Okay, so bump this back into sunrise. Look at that. We walk down the street. So again, you can see how the cloud coverage, now that I'm looking at it, I'm kind of like, I'm not sure I do like the clouds on that. Again, this is the modified version of the stuff that I did. So I don't know. The white clouds are very defined versus kind of I don't know what color you call that, but the lower clouds anyhow. Yeah, I don't know. But it's a nice mix now that I didn't do some and I did others. I may play around with that some more, especially on other maps where you've got more than one cloud setting. But if we just go back over here around the car, hop back in, and there we go. We'll drive down here, so we hop in. Oh, look at that. This is cool. Even as a small set piece map, I like the way this looks. And I like the things, that you can do with it. I'm not driving very well, but that's okay. Doesn't matter. Let's hook over here. I'll tell you what, let's just go ahead and drive off. I want to see what this does. Okay. So, all right. In the meantime, I'll tell you what, let's do this. Let's free cam. And let me show you what the map looks like from above. So again, like I said, if the middle sections were kind of filled in so you didn't have a no man's land, I think that'd be cool. But even by itself, even as it sits, I think this is a very neat way to present an environment for people to play around in and create those dioramas, to create those set pieces, all that kind of good stuff. So I'm going to have a link to the map down in the description below. I'll also have a link to the tutorial video that I used to create the better lighting, at least in my opinion, better lighting, especially of the street scene. The clouds are a little miffed up, but that's okay. It's fine. We'll work it out. Anyhow, got any questions, problems, suggestions, horror stories, anything else you'd like me to try, a different game you'd like to see on the channel, let me know down below. I'm davidinark. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Have a great day.